73, The Farmer in the Dell. On page 72, they're introducing you to intervals. You think, why do I need to know this junk? Well, it comes in handy later on because it leads to other things. And it's not that hard. I mean, there's a little bit of math involved, but you don't need a calculator, I hope. Let's just briefly talk about intervals. An interval is the distance between any two notes. Any two notes. They give you some examples over there. I'm going to use the keyboard. Let's look at the keyboard. I'm going to use the white keys, so I'm going to be in the key of C. So if I play a C, the first note in the scale, and then I go to a D, the distance between that, you already know it's a whole step. We're talking intervals as in numbers. From here to here is called an interval of a second. That's a 2 with a second. You count them this way. You always count with the note you're on. That's 1. Never start with 0. We don't start with 0 in music. You start with 1. 1, 2. It's an interval of a second. If I go up another one, 1, 2, 3. That's an interval of a third. Interval of a fourth, a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. That's kicker. 8. We've talked about octaves before. Oct, O-C-T, oct, means 8. Well, it's an interval of an eighth. It's letter to letter, C to C, or D to D, or whatever. I keep going. 9, 10, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and blah. Any two notes. There's more to it than that. We'll just stick with this, all right? We're just simple. The notes don't have to be played at the same time. That's not important. It's just any two notes. So if I want to know the interval, if I play this, there's an interval there, and to figure it out, all I got to do is count the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's a 13th. That's the point. So any two notes. Now let's look at the music. A second is simple to see in the music because the notes are going to be cockeyed because they're right next to each other. They're in each other's way. That's a second. A third is easy because that's two adjacent lines, two lines next to each other, or two spaces next to each other. So they're showing a C and an E, but it could be a D and an F. You get those? It's still a third. These are all thirds. Fourth's a little harder to see. A fifth is two lines with a line in between or two spaces with a space in between. It's because it's thirds. It's here. Remember, a third. And then a sixth is a little harder to see, and a seventh is an 8. You'll recognize octaves as you play the music. In an octave, one note will be on a line, and the other note will be in a space every time. Or one note will be in a space, and the other note will be in a line, but it's never both. So it's, they're opposite. The reasoning behind all that junk we'll get to later. Just kind of know what an interval is. Now, at the top of page 73, they're introducing you to 6/8 time signature. So again, you got the two numbers, and if you know what the numbers mean, you can figure it out. The top number is how far you're going to count. We got to count to 6. That's hard to do when you're lazy like me, but okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah. And the bottom number is what we're counting. We're counting eighth notes. An eighth note is going to get the beat. Well, if an eighth note gets the beat, a quarter note gets 2 beats. And a lot of time in 6/8 time, you'll see a dotted quarter note because that's worth 3 eighth notes, or it's going to get 3 beats. Just, it works out really well. So you're going to see a lot of dotted notes in 6/8 time. And they give you an example there. There's like 6/8 notes, and they're beaming them or barring them in 3s. It's not always going to be that way, but it comes in handy because a lot of times you're going to feel 6/8 time in 2. You're going to bum, 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 bum. So in the 6/8 time study right there, it's like 1, 2, 1. It's like 1, 2. A lot of marches are written in 6/8 time. You think, no, that's written in 2/4 or 4/4 with a lot of triplets. but it's not. It's written in 6/8 time. So we would march to left, right, etc. That's basically 6/8 time. It just kind of rolls along. In Farmer in the Dell, let's look at the rhythm here really close and carefully. And I think once you get the idea, it just kind of goes. You're starting with the C here, and you're going to play the F. It's a quarter note, gets 2 counts. Eighth note gets 1, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the next measure, that dotted half or dotted quarter note gets 3 counts. It's tied to a quarter note gets 2, so that's 5 counts total. You're going to hold it down for 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on 6th count, you do the G. In the left hand, they're all dotted quarter notes. Well, that's fine if you're going to feel it in 2, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2. That's what you feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Etc. That's the feel of it. And that's really the only tricky thing about it. Just follow their notes and their fingerings and you'll be fine. Let's do this together slowly. You want to sing it, you go right ahead and sing it. I don't care because I can't hear you. I'm sure you sing very prettily. Never mind. This has a 1-beat pickup, so I'm going to give us 5 counts because I want to give the counts according to the beats. According to the time signature. Yeah, well. So go ahead and put your hands where they go. The right hand is here. Left hand is here. Let's try it out. The metronome is beating 8th notes. That's the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a little slow, but that's all right. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5,